Hi guys, I got a special guest with me here today for Yahoo Esports. It's the man himself, Josh Dadbot Nissan, aka Steel. And then he fixes his posture. We're here in this beautiful sunny California because you are analyzing or casting Smash Summit, or sorry, CS Summit.
CS Summit.
Yeah. What do you? Is it analyzing or is it casting?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So so we obviously talked about this where it's like it's an open environment where people are just doing whatever they want.
Yeah. I might even be doing a little bit of observing for the first day, but that's to be determined. But it's supposed to be a very relaxed environment where we can take the conversation whichever way we want.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be analysis, it could be casting, it could be talking about what we ate for lunch, it could be talking about Tinder escapades.
Nice. Yeah. Are you excited for that like more chaotic environment where you can just kind of do whatever, or would you rather have it be like you're casting with Fiflaren every single day, or?
I think it's like it could be a refreshing change. It's not something that I'm like, oh, you know what, I really look forward to doing one or the other. It's that I'm used to doing the more professional ones, I guess, so this would be a pretty big change, but
yeah.
As a streamer, you kind of find yourself in these situations all the time where you just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
So it'd be the same thing, essentially.
So are you saying your skills in improv are now applicable to an event like the Smash Summit?
I'm terrible at improv. I'm way better with the script.
Oh, okay. Oh, you've been scripting videos recently for your YouTube channel, and in those videos talking a lot about mentality in CS:GO.
Yes.
What are some of the topics that you talked about recently?
Well, I didn't do I've been scripting the videos, yes, but I haven't been talking about mentality in CS:GO in my YouTube. It's been more like on the cusp or off the cusp rants on stream about, you know, I'll be playing rank S and then I'll have some players not caring, not trying, not just playing straight stupid CS.
Give me a brief definition of stupid CS.
When I think of stupid CS, I'll call it scrimming. And I guess my favorite example of scrimming in CS is when I was playing with iBuyPower, we'd be playing against the Complexity /C9 roster with Semphis on it. And we'd be playing them on Inferno, and this is back when we were just
We're getting real specific.
Yeah, no, this is like my definition of scrimming right here. This is when we were dumpstering every team in North America at the time, and we'd be playing them on a map like Inferno, for example, and we'd play RCT side first, and we'd win like 13-2 or 14-1, just something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And most teams at the time didn't even play out games, but some teams would play out the full 30 rounds. Other teams would stop at 16. And we'd be playing against C9, and Semphis would just give up entirely. On his CT side, he would just rush down middle by himself, without a team, without anything, just every round.
What possesses a player to do something like that?
It's almost as if you just give up. Like, scrimming is just like when you just give up and you just stop trying and you just run around mindlessly. You're not really playing with a team, you're just independent, and it's almost like you're just playing to get the game over with. And
isn't that something people do even when you're winning though? Like, you're winning too much, so you're like, there's no point in practicing here.
Yeah, there are teams that definitely do that, and it's not a good habit to get into if you do it too often. If you're playing against teams that you just completely just smash every time, it takes a lot of discipline to know that, yes, you're beating them, but you can't afford to kind of start doing stupid plays, because what's going to happen is you're going to play against a team that is going to punish you for that, and that's how a team's going to get back into the game.
So you play good teams. Stay with me here. You play good teams so that you're forced to like make better decisions. So when you play a team that's like not that great, but you're in the practice and you're winning by a lot, what is the value of being disciplined even though you're playing a team that might not be as good or do as good things as another team?
The discipline, so that when you play at the highest level of CS, it's all about minimizing the amount of mistakes that you make.
Yeah.
It's not really about what team's better than the other, it's about what team makes less mistakes than the other. If you make one mistake and let's say you lose to an eco round, that has really big consequences. So you want to make sure that you're minimizing the amount of mistakes that you make. At the end of the day, it's going to pay off for you. So if you're kind of losing that focus and discipline against a team that you should beat or that you're beating massively, you're going to carry on those bad habits into teams that can really punish you or capitalize off of your I guess, cockiness.
Yeah. So
whatever word you
so
want
in
to use
rank
for it.
S, so in rank S, you have like a lot of players who don't take it seriously, and then so you feel like they're developing bad habits that they later take with them into games, even when they say that they can flip a switch and go back into serious mode.
100%, and it'll be the same people as well that they'll be saying these things like, oh yeah, I could just flip a switch and they'll be playing properly, and then you just look at the results and they're just getting dumpstered everywhere they go. So that's one of the things. The other thing is that besides they can't just flip a switch, it's that you see the same amateur mistakes that you should bang out the first year you're playing the game, like dropping the bomb in spawn or dropping the bomb in some completely useless location, and then your teammates take a bomb site and they're like, okay, plant the bomb. Wait, bomb's in spawn still. Why is bomb in spawn? And it's like, this happens all the time. It happens in rank S. It happens in matches, in like pro league level, and it's just like, why? You can fix it in pugs. You can fix it in rank S. All you have to do is send the bomb in the right location or communicate where you're leaving the bomb, and you can solve all these issues. And then it's just a small, simple thing like leaving the bomb in a specific location, which is a tiny mistake that can cause a huge issue.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, let's say you're playing Mirage and you leave the bomb in a certain location and you go in and you get 3 kills and it's a 2-on-5, but one of the enemies pushed and gets the bomb in like top middle or T-spawn or something, and you have to come back getting the bomb and you're low on time, there's 20 seconds left or something, and now they just win the round because of a stupid mistake like that. It's a huge consequence.
Now, would you consider yourself like a gamer where you like play other games, or like do you only play Counter-Strike?
I like a variety of games and I like different genres. I guess I like RTS games a lot. I remember before I started playing CS professionally and competitively, I just played Warcraft 3 a lot. When I was getting into Counter-Strike competitively, I would also balance out some StarCraft 2. I played Masters level at that. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst.
That's pretty good.
It's still above average. So I like RTS games. Recently, I've picked up PUBG, which is really fun. I've actually enjoyed it a lot. It's kind of refreshing because I haven't enjoyed playing video games like this in such a long time.
That's good to hear.
So I like a variety of games, yeah.
So, but like, do you have like that esports itch where like once you started playing Counter-Strike a lot, it was hard to play games that weren't competitive? Or do you always have to play competitive games? Like PUBG's competitive, even though it's not necessarily an esport.
I guess the competition aspect or element you can always find in any online game or any multiplayer game, rather. So if I'm competing against someone else, I'm proving that I'm better than them, or at least striving to be. So if I'm not better than someone at it, I'm going to work really hard at it to get to that level. If there's a leaderboard, I'm trying to work towards that. If there's just a friend that plays it and they're at a certain rating or something, I'm going to try to beat that, because that's just my mentality. That's how I was raised. That's how I have 3 older brothers. I've always been competing my entire life.
And I know that you don't have to have been like competitive when you were younger or something like that to be a competitive person. Some people are just competitive people. Do you think it's something that develops though? Because some people have been good at Counter-Strike. Like, I don't know, like Shroud has always seemed like someone who has played Counter-Strike, but mostly because he was just like amazing at it. And enjoyed streaming, like was dedicated, streamed with so much and just grinded so many hours. But never struck me as someone who was like truly competitive.
Right. I say the same thing about him. It's like he's a dude that loves games and he's really good at them. So what happened? People said, "Hey, you're really good. You should play on our team." And he's just like, "All right." And he just went with it, and he's kind of like stuck by it. But then you have players that are actually, they have this itch where they need to go out and compete and prove to themselves and to everyone else that they are good and that they can be the best. And they continually push themselves and strive to be better than they were today. The next day they'll just set out and keep going. Even if they're the best team in the world at the time, they'll keep going, they'll keep learning, they'll keep pushing themselves. And I guess that's the difference between a competitive player and someone who's not.
Did you have that on iBuyPower where you have like, just because you guys are so dominant in North America? So a lot of people don't know, like you were the only team in North America that would go like undefeated in scrims in some months.
We had undefeated seasons for CEVO and for ESCA.
Oh yeah, that's right. And the like first teams to do it for, I don't even know, ever? Or a long time?
In CSGO, maybe ever, but I've had an undefeated season in CEVO and ESCA for CS Source as well.
So you guys are just you're on another tier. It was like when SK came to North America and they started playing. It was like that kind of level of dominance at first, where they just started going so hard. Did you guys have all that? Did you guys have the right 5 in the sense that everybody just wanted to win like a whole bunch? or was it just a good balance of people who were leading that wanted to win the most?
It's a good,
because
yeah.
you and Days are most vocal, and also strikes me as most competitive. Where I just can't get a read on someone like Swag or AZK, who are definitely talented. But.
So, it's a good question, and it's kind of like there's a lot of places I can go with it. So, with regards to, I guess, the competitive element, I think all of us strove to be better. Like if we look at AZK, for example, like this guy, he dropped out at the tail end of high school to, I guess, chase the dream of the CGS.
Yeah.
But he wasn't old enough, and then the CGS died. He continued on. He was like completely dominant in CS Source, and then going on to CSGO, he was still a really top player, really dominant. After the bans, he switched over to Reflex. He was world champion in that within like a few months. Yeah, like just ridiculously, insanely skilled. And then he switched over to Overwatch, and he's still competing in that game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a testament to that. Swag, I mean, he's right now, he's what, like 19 years old still, and he's still dumpstering everyone that's in North America.
Yeah.
Days and I, we both have very similar, I guess, competitive mindsets that we strive to continually be better.
Yeah.
So there was that present on the team, and even when we're winning, the league seasons undefeated, just dumpstering North American talent.
Yeah.
Like there was always something that we could learn, and we always understood that there was always something that we could learn. We can always improve. It doesn't matter how good we are at the moment. There's always ways to improve and get better.
Yeah.
And I mean, the problem with a lot of these newer pros is that they don't see the long term. They don't see the future. They just look at the present, the now, and the short term, and that's all they care about.
Was that like a lack of maturity?
It is definitely a lack of maturity. I mean, a lot of these newer pros are 17 years old, 18 years old, still in high school or just finishing it.
Is that who you were when you were 17 years old?
No, I started getting into competitive CS when I was already in university. Or like my final year of high school, I was already graduating. I was going to university, and I actually stopped playing games. I was going to stop completely, but I came down with mono. In my second month of university.
Spin the bottle too much?
So I actually started picking up CS again when I was in university because I was at home all the time because I was tired and I was sick and everything, and I couldn't go drinking, I couldn't go partying, so I picked up CS, and that's when I started really getting into it.
I actually have a story. Okay, so I played you guys a very long time ago, and it was in some stupid tournament. That was like a qualifier online tournament that we just entered for fun, and we got you in our bracket.
Okay.
And it was on Inferno, and we won both pistols.
Yeah.
And got 16-2'd. So how random are pistols?
These days or back then? Pistols, that's also completely situational. A lot of teams might take a little bit of a gamble on a pistol round, and then there's the thing like if you got a bomb plant, did we have a kit to defuse the bomb? Did we just run out of time? Like there's so many different specific parts to a pistol round and to the other rounds that could just drastically change the outcome of the round that it's too hard to say. But pistol rounds, I mean, even though you won both, you only had 2 rounds at the end of the game. I don't even remember that, to be honest.
Okay, so I was like holding halls, the tightest peak ever, and I remember we were on CD side
or something.
That's what was swag.
It was swag.
He jumps off the stairs and in the air hits me through the tightest crack we've ever in the head, and I just sat in pit in the farthest corner I could find and didn't move the rest of the round, and he still managed to kill me. That was the most terrifying thing that's ever happened.
Swag's like, when it comes to peaks and angles like that, I think he's completely uncontested within North America at the very least when it comes to those types of peaks, those angles. Just his movement and aim and just knowing where people are is just no one can contest with that. It's insane.
Isn't it interesting? Like a lot of players who are super good at that are like really bad at explaining how to do it. Like they're really bad at recognizing what it took to get there.
Isn't that
themselves.
What's the effect called? Like the Dunning-Kruger effect, almost.
That's when you're like, I think that's when you're good at something, you think you're great at it. When you're great at something, you think you could get better.
But it's also about the explanation about. Like if you're really talented at something, it's very hard to talk to someone who's maybe not be on your level.
Okay.
So if we're on the same level at CS, we can talk about things and we'll understand each other. But let's say I'm talking to someone who's completely brand new to CS, and I start saying things like pop flash, or I say like jiggle peek. Like they're like, what? And I just assume that they're going to know what it means because it seems so basic to me. But to them, it's like an advanced concept. So when you have these, I guess, players that are just so talented at the game, it's hard for them to kind of level with the other people they're talking to, first and foremost. And the other thing is, a lot of these players get to this point where like this skill level, not because they're really good at talking to other people, but just because they're really good at not talking to other people, you know? So for me, it's different because I feel like I am a little bit better at explaining myself and talking to people just because of my experiences in life. I'm older. I did like drama in school. I was always doing some sort of public speaking type of thing.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit easier for me to kind of understand that and just be able to level with people. But to other people, maybe explaining things isn't their forte, and just playing CS or video games in general is.
Gotcha. So wrapping up here, what's like? Are you excited to be casting the CS Summit?
It should be fun, yeah. I've always been doing casting type stuff. I remember years ago when like my teammates, including Days, who's now a caster, used to make fun of me for streaming, for wanting to do casts, for doing YouTube videos, for doing all this stuff. They used to make fun of me for doing it, and now look at them all.
Look at me now.
Exactly, dude. No, look at them now. They're all doing it now, and they're all loving it, and they're all embracing it. No, it's something that's kind of fun. Just it's fun, it's exciting, it's rewarding. I get to get out and see everyone that I talk to and interact with online all the time, but I also get to interact with the fans as well, the true fans at least. So it's nice to kind of get out there and experience everything in person instead of just doing everything online, and it's definitely a really cool experience.
Cool. Thanks for talking to me, man. And have fun at the CS Summit. I'll probably see you at some point. We're out in Cali, you know what I mean? We're close together.
Cali, yeah.
Anyways, thanks for talking to me, Josh. And for more esports coverage, make sure to check it out right back at our website.